Here we go today. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and crypto, what the prospects of where both of these technologies, because I think they're two different technologies, are going. And we're going to do this with a special guest. You guys have asked for him many times on this show. And, we finally have been able to connect and we got a chance to reach out to him. All the stars aligned. It's going to happen. We've got Richard Hart here today with us. So it's going to be a big one. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. We did a poll over on Twitter, and I just want to show this. Give Richard a little bit more for his ego. I don't think he needs much more, if you know Richard. And that is, who would you want on the show to talk about, Bitcoin, crypto, macro outlook for 23? We had Richard in there, not so Mr. Wonderful. Meet Kevin next, and then PBD, the boss. That's, of course, Patrick Bet David. This wasn't even a race, people. And that was 2,300 votes. This wasn't even a race. So that's why Mr. Richard Hart is here today. So I want to welcome Richard Hart to the show. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Richard, let's go for it. Let's get into a lot about what's happening in the world of crypto right now and in general, what we're seeing in the markets. I want to get into a couple of points for you. And when you think about where the market is right now, obviously we just saw the whole FTX. Kind of your opinion on FTX. I know, I've heard, but I'd love to hear your opinion.
I've been warning everybody to take your coins off of exchanges, off of lending platforms for years. I've been in this business since 2011, first quarter. When I got into Bitcoin, when I started mining Bitcoin, it was 50 cents.
Yeah.
When I bought it, it was $30. Immediately went down to $2, of course. But then, you hold it, it goes up to 1,200, down to 200, up to 20,000, down to 3,000, up to 14, down to 4, up to 70, down to 15.5 so far.
Yeah.
So the volatility is the price you pay for the world's best performing asset. Now it's not the best performer anymore, but if you look back on a long enough time frame, right? Like if you were able to buy it when it was a penny, you were up 690 million%.
Right.
A year and a half ago. But if you bought it 5 years ago, you're down money now.
Exactly.
So there's a difference between buying 10 years ago and 5 years ago. But I mean, to get a 3x in real estate, you had to wait 15 years. To get a 3x in the stock market, you had to wait 15 years. And to get a 3x in crypto, you just need to wait the right month. It just has to be the right month.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I think FTX,
go ahead.
Very simply, cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk, to put you in charge of your money. So you never have to beg anyone for access to the network. You never have to beg anyone to spend it. You never have to beg anyone for your keys, for your coins. You don't have to send selfies. You don't have to send, hostage videos. Please, it's really me. Please give me my money. That's the opposite of why crypto was invented. And when you give your coins to someone else, they're not your coins anymore. You're now an unsecured creditor. Congrats, you'll go last after all the VCs get paid out of the bankruptcy. So, I told everybody not your keys, not your coins for years. I invented a product that specifically solves that problem where you mine your own yield by holding your own keys. Pays on average 39% APY per year, but really it's millions of percent depending on when you bought. Just crazy, right? You're like, how's it possible? Well, it's the same thing Bitcoin did. My coin went up 10,000 fold. Bitcoin went up 69,000 fold. And my coin is free for Bitcoin holders. You can claim it for free.
Right, and the key thing there, of course, is being early on any of these scenarios. And you look obviously at FTX and back to your point, we talk a lot about.
Well, you don't have to be early.
Here.
You don't have to be early. I didn't buy Bitcoin at a penny. I bought it at $30. Still went up to 70,000.
But wait a minute, you don't call $30 early? That's pretty early.
No, it's.
In the
is
bell
it though?
curve.
Well, let's do the math, right? So let's say the top was 60K for math simplicity, and you divide it by 30. What is that? 200x. It's only a 200x.
Yep.
Which is only a 200x. My coin did a 10,000x in a year and a half.
X's. How many 200x's can we get? It would be
a lot.
It would be the thing.
I mean, Ethereum did a 60x.
Yeah.
Just the last bull cycle.
Right.
When it went from 88 to 5,000. Bitcoin did a 20x. So Ethereum outpaced Bitcoin threefold. And even when I called the Bitcoin top on the day for free a year and a half ago, that top call has been in profit every single day, except one, the Judas candle, where it made a 6% higher high and that went straight down. When Bitcoin dropped its first 55% drop, Hex went up 30x. And then versus it went up 60x. So, here's what's so great about crypto. I specifically invent the thing that allows you to generate yield holding your own keys, and beg everyone not to pick up pennies in front of freight trains, and beg everyone to take your keys off of Celsius, take your keys off of BlockFi, take your keys off centralized exchanges. Pointed out what a scumbag FTX was by running a trading company. Who do you think trading company victimizes? The people on the other side of the trade, the retail guys. Front runs you, liquidates you, has a bot that doesn't even liquidate his own positions. You're literally sending checks to the guy liquidating you. And then he's acting like he's going to bail people out. I'm like, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is a guy that tries to get kids into margin trading. The worst thing you could do as a human being is margin trade. I mean, maybe crack is worse. But if you margin trade, you are very likely to lose all of your money. And by say very likely, I mean 80, 90% likely.
High
There's a website that,
for sure.
There's a website called eToro that used to have at the very top of it, I guess by law, 67% of users lose money with us. It might have been 76, but let's just say 67. And that's misleading, because how much more did the losers lose than the winners win? And if all the losers lose everything and the winners win $1, it's not. People are so stupid. There's only two people that get rich in cryptocurrency: founders and holders. And the traders all get liquidated and annihilated over and over and over and over again. Even on coins that go to zero. There's a company a coin called Luna, which everyone, front page of CoinMarketCap. Has X ever been front page? Only by accident, lol. It went to zero. People tried to short it on the way down. They would get liquidated on scam wicks. Some company lost $20 million shorting a coin that went down 95% 3 times in 2 weeks. It went down 95 and then 95 again and then 95 again. And they still got liquidated for 20 million. And I told people not to do it. If people would just listen to me, you could have sold the top on the day. You could have made it 10,000x. You could have held your own coins and not got screwed by BlockFi, by Gemini, by Celsius. I'm the giving tree of crypto. Why do they all have more followers than me? They're all losers. I have better cars, better stuff. I'm the world's biggest diamond. I got 10 million watches. I twerk. I do pull tricks. What do you want, people? I can't do you a better solid.
Yeah, I think actually you could. Because I think when I'm gonna, not that I have, the secret to anything, but when I look at, and I've been in journalism for, 15, almost 20 years, been in tech for 20 years, I've been around all the
How many 20 years have you got in you, bro? How do you still have hair?
Right?
It's a lot of 20 years, man.
No, it's in unison there, adjacent to each other. The whole point is tech journalism. So my point is that when you look at what is it that's going to really set you apart, I think the scenario I watch when I watch Richard Hart, and I follow your content, I've watched you on Rand's show, and dozens of shows after that. The one thing that I look at and think about, I'm thinking, this guy's really smart. He understands the metrics, the tokenomics. He understands the human behavior, the psychology behind all this. I mean, I would say maybe one of the top 10 guys in crypto right now. And when you look at that, for me, I think there's a huge opportunity here in the space, because you know this as well as I, is that the next level of leveling up in what's going to happen in crypto is going to be based off of adoption. And adoption is going to be coming from a new breed of investor, most likely that has not come into crypto before. Sure, we're going to get some of those people that are going to come back in after licking their wounds. They might make their way back in, but I think we're going to get some newbies in the space for the very first time in the next few years. Okay, let's do it.
I have an idea for adoption.
All right,
why don't we do the world's largest airdrop?
Okay, there you go.
Why don't we airdrop a free coin to absolutely every single holder of any coin on the Ethereum network?
Yeah,
we could give them a free copy. Yes, it is.
Yep. What is that called?
PulseChain. Yeah. So PulseChain
Richard,
is the world's largest free airdrop.
you're getting too predictable here. Come on. I need to hear some new stuff.
What can I say?
I want to hear something that has not been said before by you. What's that?
Well, sure. I mean, Y Combinator funded a company that would scan your eyeballs to give you coins, and then it failed. And then some other scam company run by ex-PayPal guys was supposed to airdrop anybody that like you could only refer 2 people was their gimmick. And then they got like, 20 million signups. And
these are all doomed for failure. They're doomed for failure.
Like I can give you the list of everyone that tried to do, hey, here's Bitcoin's try. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do peer-to-peer digital cash. Does anyone use Bitcoin as peer-to-peer digital cash? Nope. No, they don't. Why? Man, one time I waited 3 hours for a confirmation, a single confirmation. And you need 3 to 6 to transact.
Yeah.
You're like, so this is what Bitcoin, a Poisson distribution looks like.
Bitcoin itself is, whether it becomes a payment system, whether Lightning becomes all it
that ship sailed. That could be.
Okay, well, let's
You want to know
talk
what the BTC ETH chart looks like? Okay.
Let's go back to Lightning before you get away from it. Let's go back to Lightning. Why is that ship sailed? Let's talk about that.
Ready? What do you want to use crypto for? Getting rich. That's it. That's all you care about. Okay. Well, how are you going to get rich? Price chart. Number has to go up. Okay. Here's the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. Now it's making a ascending triangle, like blowout top soon.
Right.
Because the token, Ethereum has lower inflation than Bitcoin. All the stable coins are on Ethereum. All the NFTs are on Ethereum. Hex, the world's first blockchain time deposits on Ethereum. PulseChain, the world's largest free airdrop, is a copy of Ethereum.
Are you at all worried about a
on-chain exchange?
An incoming security concern for ETH?
Here, the definition of a security in the United States, it's not the only country in the world, is do people put money into a common pool with the expectation of profit solely from the work of others? So when you buy Ethereum, where's the common pool you're putting your money into? There isn't one. You're buying your Ethereum from somebody else. Okay,
I know that,
well, you failed a leg of the Howey test, so now it can't be a security, period. Every single leg has to pass.
I get all
so then
of
you're
that
like, okay, hold on.
That it's going to hold
let me dance
against
some more for you because I'm kind of
an
expert on this crap.
I know.
Let's invent some new stuff that's not in the Howey test, right? Let's pretend that there's some extra crap that we didn't even pass with laws. We just had regulatory, like, we're just going to say it from regulatory. The judicial branch isn't going to say it. The executive branch is going to say it, like pseudo law. Okay, cool. Let's have that. Is there critical entrepreneurial or managerial effort? No, there's not.
You don't think
Infura can go offline, and it has, and everything worked fine. No.
You don't think Vitalik is critical to
what are you
the
talking
ecosystem?
about? When's the last time he pushed a commit to Geth or Prism or anything? When's the last time his code
zero
got into the chain? Never.
Yeah.
So where's the criticality here? It's retarded.
Well, I think that. Well, I hope you're not calling me retarded, but
I'm just saying
that's not retarded. The point I'm getting at is
you just have to measure it. Like if you're going to measure
a figurehead.
Critical, it's a strong word. No, figurehead isn't the word, bro. The word is critical. What critical means is would fail
Zuckerberg is not running code. He is the figurehead that everybody's investing in. He is the guy.
Satoshi left Bitcoin. How did it do? Satoshi left Bitcoin.
Okay, that's a completely different game.
In 2011.
That's
Why
a
is it a different game?
Because the time in which that occurred as opposed to the time in which we're dealing with now, which is from a mass media standpoint, the impact on these kind of tokens. I mean, you look at what's happening right now with BNB.
No, but founders leave coins all the time. Founders leave coins all the time.
Yep.
The coins often do fine.
Good example, Hoskinson leaving.
I'm not an expert on it. Sure, yeah, he left Ethereum. And so did everybody else. Gavin Wood left Ethereum. Basically everybody but Vitalik left and Joe Lubin. So, and I mean, look, I left Bitcoin. Seems to be doing fine. Not really, actually. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be doing fine. It's down if you held it for 5 years.
Okay, what are your
Michael
thoughts
Saylor
on this?
bought the top with leverage. Michael Saylor bought the top with other people's money. I called the top, he bought the top. What an idiot. How do you lose money on the world's best performing asset? How stupid do you have to be?
Yeah.
He should follow me instead of blocking me.
Yeah, whoa, okay, well, maybe that.
Because I'm doing great and he's a wrecked pleb. No, stay broke, buddy. So here's every Bitcoin maximalist. Oh, please, God, government, make everything else illegal. so that we can pump, so that we waited from 2017 till 21 we waited 4 years to get our 3x all-time high. We went from 20K to 69K. We have limp wiener, top of the S curve, dying 14-year-old tech pumps, but our dumps are the same size. Our dumps are the same size. Oh, really? Bitcoin went from 69K to 15.5, and it'll
let's
do
reel
11,
you back in.
by the
Let's
way.
reel you back in. I got you, bro.
No.
I'm with you. I'm here with you. Okay.
No, but like Bitcoin dumps as hard as everything else. Bitcoin dropped 75, Ethereum dropped 85, and Hex dropped 95. But Hex went up 1,000,000% in a year and a half. Maybe a retrace is acceptable, and it's still up 500x now. people are like yelling. They're like, "Oh, it's a Ponzi." You're like, "Hey, Tesla's down like 70%. Facebook's down like 6. Like everything's down. It's the bear market, guys. What do you think? You're back to a year and a half ago's price. Everything's back to a year and a half ago's price. Well, except Bitcoin."
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Richard. When you look at the market right now, if we were to lose another major, and I say lose, if someone like a Binance were to go down, what would that do to the overall industry as a whole?
A year and a half ago, I told you Bitcoin was going to 10K. Has Bitcoin hit 10K yet? No, it hasn't.
There you go.
It hasn't hit Richard's price target yet. And why wouldn't it hit 10K? Right now, Grayscale Bitcoin's half off. You can buy encapsulated Bitcoin from Grayscale for half price. And they own 3% of all the Bitcoin. And as a percentage of total available actual like float, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So you haven't seen the Bitfinex coins liquidated. $1 billion or $2 billion there. You haven't seen the Silk Road hackers coins liquidated, $1 billion there. You haven't seen the Mt. Gox $1 billion or $2 billion or $3 billion coins handed out yet. The Plus token Ponzi coins from China, not even sure what happened with those ones. None of those have been sold yet. So the dream is all those centralized counterparties that you don't really want to make rich, the seized coins that the governments are all holding, let them sell the bottom. Sell the bottom, sell 10K. Cool. Let Sailor get liquidated. Ladies, liquor, and leverage, homie. That's how you lose your stack. By the way, I'll tell you that trading is the worst thing you can do. How did FTX lose all their money? Trading. How did Three O's Capital lose all their money? Trading. Because they thought they were smarter than me. I didn't lose all my money. I'm doing really good. Really, 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 really good. These guys lost all their money. Grand champion.
Grand champion. I like it. We should have an applause track right there, guys. What happened? So Richard, let me ask you that. Back to the question. Binance creators, what does that do to crypto as a whole?
Dump it. Sell it. Sell all your coins. Make a new bottom.
So you feel that...
Get out. Sell all your coins. Let's go. Give me a capitulation wick. Haven't seen one of those in a while. It would have been nice to get a capitulation wick back in 2018 instead of the bump and run bottom that we got. I would have loved a deep, nasty wick. You know, why not? Let me tell you why you haven't been getting them, by the way. FTX lost all their coins. So guess what? When they fail, there's no coins to sell. The coins are already gone. So it doesn't hurt the price because the coins are already gone.
Yeah.
Celsius files for bankruptcy. Guess what? They're not selling the coins.
Exactly.
When am I going to see some sell pressure, right? I don't want to see another restructuring bankruptcy. I want to see a liquidate it, murder the margin traders, capitulation wick, hit the price targets, make the bottom new moon sick. You know, it's what
which is really what
do. Like this is
that's normally
what crypto's been doing for 11 years. It's usually a blow off top, 85% drop, sideways for a year or two, back up, blow off top. That's the standard cycle.
Yeah. Do you think that has shown maybe that crypto has shown a little bit more resilience this time around? Is that we haven't seen these kind of capitulation drops?
I mean, you're down 75% in a year and a half.
Hey, listen,
it's
that's
not
up
too
from
far
Peloton
off of 85%, bro.
That's up from the Peloton.
It's better than
stock
Carvana.
It's
exactly. Up from Carvana, you know. It's down like 99%.
And a lot of innovative tech that has been out there right now, down 90%. Well, obviously, even if you look at the Amazon
people forget.
chart, and it's inverted growth over the last 25 years.
Well, I think the Amazon chart almost always goes up and to the right. It drops 40%, 50% every once in a while. It dropped 95% in the year 2000. But other than that, it's been pretty much up and to the right constant.
Which I
people
think
have to
that's
remember
what
about
we're
crypto.
dealing with is the year 2000. This is the year 2000 for crypto.
I mean, it's really just 2017 again, man. Are people
so?
overpaying for serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs? Yes, they are. Should they lose all their money? Yes, they should. Are people buying stupid startup ideas with the wrong team, the wrong idea, no product market fit? Like, yep, they sure are.
That sounds like definitely like 2000 to me.
Irrational exuberance, to quote Keynes. So you're like, hey, it's the exact same thing, which is why you should have the exact same horror or more. Bitcoin's 85% drops only existed in periods where there was hyperinflationary quantitative easing and zero interest policy.
Yeah.
So now everything's going down. Cash is getting more expensive, which almost never happens. Money almost never gets more valuable. Almost never. This is one of the few times where you're seeing money get more valuable. Rolexes are going down in price. And as I own $10 million of Rolexes, pretty much, I called the top on the day on that too.
Now we're getting into area that I really like when you talk about Rolexes, because I'm a big watch collector. So what is what is your prized possession in Rolex?
Well, I've got the GMT Ice, which Ronaldo's got. That's like a $800,000 watch.
Yeah.
I've got the Skymaster Ice, which has full diamond bracelet. There's only 3 in the world. It's like me, Kanye, and Drake, I think. And we're the only people in the world that has it. Yeah. So I've got the 2 most expensive watches Rolex has ever produced.
Didn't I see somewhere that you had one of the rainbows, the Rainbow Daytona?
Yep.
Did you have the Rainbow
Daytona? I got a full
Daytona?
diamond Daytona. Yeah, full diamond bracelet, face, everything.
Yeah.
I've got SARU, Submariner. I've got Eye of the Tiger. So I've got every diamond bracelet Rolex they make.
That's an amazing watch.
Yeah.
That's an amazing
So I've got the yellow band on the Eye of the Tiger. I've got the rose band on the SARU, GMT Master 2, the Sapphire Ruby. I've got the white band on an older GMT2 and the SARU.
Yeah. I've got, so
Sapphire
listen,
Ruby,
Richard, this is what kind of concerns me in the marketplace. If you think about just let's just take a look at Royal Oak. I mean, now we're getting into the crazy stuff, but you look at what AP, the Royal Oaks have done in just the last 6 to 8 months. We've seen this massive fall off.
Well, they're down probably 40%.
Oh, at least.
Probably.
And in some cases more, depending on which version. But my point is that when you get
Are you still paying more than retail? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
So, I mean, does that seem like a rational market? Let me tell you right now, there's no Rolexes on the store shelves anywhere still.
Oh, no, you can't
prices are
get
coming
one.
down?
Yeah.
Cool.
Doesn't matter what AD
They're
you
still
talk
sold out globally.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Fact.
But again,
every single Rolex store says
you're talking about buying that
next to the watch.
Daytona, which was $130,000. Now that thing's down to 60, and that was just 6 months ago.
I just picked one up. I got a John Mayer green face for fun.
Oh, the green face.
I think I lost like 10K on it so far.
That's a fantastic watch, John Mayer's green Daytona.
I have every sick watch, dude. Like we
gotta do an episode just to do a watch collection, state of collection type thing. Anyway, let's get back on.
Watches. It's a lot. I got 38 watches.
Are you concerned that market? Because I always look at the watch market.
No, I called the top of the day.
Watch.
Literally.
So how far do you think it's?
I called the top on the day. I mean, I would love to see a world where Rolexes are in stock. That seems rational to me. I mean, it shouldn't be a pseudo financial instrument.
Not going to happen.
It's what it currently is.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah, well, they're going to open a new factory, so.
Okay, that could happen.
They're putting a lot of money into it.
You get bandwidth there.
But Patek's not.
Master marketers.
Like, I don't think Patek's got another factory. But look, Rolex makes 1 million watches a year. Patek makes 20K.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
It's a 50x difference.
Let's talk about technology moving forward, because you've got Ethereum, which is, I believe, their shift obviously over to proof of stake. The model in which Ethereum could go in the next 10 years. You look back, I mean, that's still somewhat of a dated technology, in comparison
to Oh my God, proof of stake failed. You can just flip it back to proof of work.
No, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. What I'm getting at is, do you think there is the potential for a revolution around a next generation blockchain product, service, software, whatever we want to call it, that could displace the power of what we have created so far? What do you think?
You start running into computer science problems that are unsolved. So there's a cap theorem that's like, you can either have redundancy or low latency or some other thing. And then there's like, you can either have throughput or security. You can either there's all these trade-offs you can't get around. Like in normal life, it's, do you want good, fast, and cheap? Pick any two.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you can't, it's very, very hard to overcome. Yeah. So
for sure.
We've pushed, sharding on Ethereum is late by 10 years or something.
Yeah, exactly.
7 years, something like that. It could be easily another 7 years before you get sharding. And that's the only real throughput increase thing. You could hope for composability across L2s. I'm sure everyone listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a genius, but you guys listening, probably retarded. Sorry. So half the stuff I say, you're going to have to Google it. Go Google blockchain composability, okay? It means that one chain can talk to another chain. So for instance, like PulseChain, the copy of Ethereum, will be lightly composable against Ethereum by using bridges. So you do your computation on PulseChain very cheaply, and then you can bridge over to Ethereum when you need. And then if you don't need, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So bridges are kind of what we have for interchain composability now.
Right. What are your thoughts?
And let me tell you, billions of dollars have been lost to bridges, which is nice because with PulseChain, you already get a copy on the other side. You don't have to bridge over. Your stuff's already there for free. Yeah. So that's really cool. It reduces attack surface.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, I have a lot to go in. I don't want to get too far into ZK AVMs and what that might look like in the future, because there are some potentials there. There's some good movement in the space in terms of tech updates.
Please give us some anonymity, please. Big anonymity set, please, God. You cannot have a capitalist society without privacy. It is not okay that your customer has to disclose. In Ethereum, when you send someone money, they have a record of any transactions you've ever done, ever. Period.
Yep.
Who sent, when, what went out, what went in, your total balance. So imagine if you paid your employees from a single account. Oh, now everybody knows everybody else's salaries.
Yeah,
imagine you paid your distributors. Oh, everybody
knows the contract.
Nonsensical.
Yeah.
You need privacy. You need mixing. You need the same rights in the digital world you have in the analog world.
Exactly.
In the analog
I still think
world,
AI is going to
my credit card, you don't know my balance.
I think AI will solve this in the future in terms of some sort of layer. Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
No, you can't just buzzword salad people. They're tangential. They're orthogonal. They're not related. AI has nothing to do with privacy. Nothing.
No, I'm not talking about
As a matter of
privacy.
fact, AI is used
I'm not
to
talking
get rid
about
of privacy.
privacy. Not talking about privacy. What I'm talking about is the computational method that it's going to need to be able to do what you're talking about, which is protecting privacy.
I think this is quite similar to the dead futurists of 100 years ago talking about the robots that will be making my sandwiches. It's 100 years later.
That's happening.
And I'm still making my sandwiches myself. No, it's not, bro. Or I would have one right now.
In commercial, it's happening. Yes. Robotic.
I'm telling you.
Commercial application, it's happening. I'm telling you, I know this. We can argue.
I'm ready for my sandwich making robot. Listen, I have a $40,000 Louis Vuitton bag shaped like an airplane. I have two $20,000 Louis Vuitton bags that just
that's all you would need to sell. One of those bags, you're going to have one of those in your kitchen tomorrow.
I'm ready for my sandwich robot, man. But what I'm trying to say is that
the one I would go with
underestimate complexity.
Yeah. That for sure.
People underestimate complexity. So, the thing that you understand more is the thing that you think is harder, and the thing that you understand less is the thing that you think is easier. So it's easier to appeal to the gray box suitcase word, kick the can down the road of AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that than it is to actually talk about what's working today, which is machine learning. And they're almost the same thing. Yeah. So you can take machine learning and analyze people's hacker news posts. Yeah, you can analyze people's hacker news posts and de-anonymize all of them. So if you have alt accounts that you post under, it will analyze the way that you've written, and
why do you think that has not been implemented? Why do you think that has not been implemented into security layers for blockchain?
Which part?
in the essence of machine learning and the ability to be able to really stack on top of blockchain to solve the problem that you're talking about, which is
because there's no
security.
throughput. The blockchains have no throughput. You cannot run a currency for any popular video game on a blockchain. None. It doesn't matter what game it is. So there is no throughput. The only time you ever use a blockchain
going forward.
Who cares?
It can be.
We want to get rich.
Achieved?
You don't need scalability for getting rich. Do you want scalability? It works fine. Like Amazon is working fine with over 50% of the internet sales in the United States every year.
Yeah, but Amazon doesn't work fine until it got to scale. Amazon was when it's selling books, it wasn't working fine. That it only became sentient when scalability leveraged in to become the most dominant retailer on the planet.
I'm happy to replace Amazon with any other successful tech company.
That's
exactly zero of them use the blockchain. It's not necessary. It's irrelevant to them. They don't need censorship resistance.
Wasn't needed.
No, they just don't need censorship resistance. You don't need
exactly.
Blockchains are only useful for censorship resistance. They don't need it. No one's trying to censor your database records. Your inventory, put it on the database. No one's trying to censor it.
Let's go back in. Okay, good. Let's go back in.
NIST has a flow chart that's like, do you need a blockchain? No.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the flow chart.
Let's go back into talking about regulation, where stablecoins may fall out.
Sure.
Do you think it matters? How do you think the U.S. is going to respond to this now that everything's heightened?
I think the government should be extremely happy that stablecoins exist because they just pump their fiat currency bags. Everyone that's in crypto that's in a stablecoin is literally just buying the dollars of some country.
Yeah.
And then guess what? If you don't like stablecoins and you don't want people putting, 40 or 50 billion into your coffers, another country will do it.
Yeah.
And guess what? You don't have global hegemony. You don't get to choose what other countries do for their central bank digital currencies. And so if a central bank digital currency decides to make a real one instead of a fake one that doesn't have admin keys and lets people actually use it, maybe that'll overtake the dollar as a global hegemon. And so maybe they should be really fair and really nice. I mean, Tether's offshore, and offshore leaves you with, in general, more counterparty risk.
Yeah.
USDC is onshore. In general, less counterparty risk. But it depends on what your attack vector is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on what your attack vector is.
Well, your attack vector.
If you're Iranian, I don't know which one's better. Probably neither of them.
For most of the financial global markets being led by the three countries of the world, obviously US, UK, to some extent China, maybe Russia. USDC's probably got at least 2/3 of that market share in terms of value proposition to an investor. Or to,
shouldn't they though? I mean, they have the most liquidity, and they seem to have the most upstanding, audits. Like their audits are their best. Their licensing is the best. The companies they work with are the largest. They're in the States. So
what do you make of this Binance proof of reserve removed from their auditor's site? Do you think there's anything there?
Do you care what an auditor you've never heard of says?
Heard of?
It's like, I've never heard of them. Cool.
It's almost as if Cointelegraph, a Russian disinformation site on crypto, is doing a little hit piece
CoinDesk
here.
has had me blocked for years, and they're owned by Genesis Digital, or DCG Group,
it's
that
DCG,
also has a $2 billion hole in their enterprise.
Well, we already know FTX paid CoinDesk. We understand. There's a lot of shenanigans going on in crypto media right now, for sure, no doubt. I'm with
Maybe
you,
he should have more e-gaming, get kids addicted to margin trading. That was a great idea. Or maybe he should I got everything right over and over and over again. So I brag about it on the internet. Tell people to kneel.
Let's do some projecting here, man. I want to get you to be more right more often. And we're going to talk about 2023. Let's do some predictions here, okay? 2023, Richard Hart's official predictions.
$11,000 Bitcoin will have been hit.
Okay.
I mean, it would be basically, usually what happens is the Fed pivots. The Fed uses laggy indicators to decide what policy they're going to execute.
All comes in piling
because of the lag, and they will not stop raising interest rates early. They won't, because they tried it once before in the 70s and it didn't work. and then they had to turn it back on and go up to 19%. And
Right.
they had to take interest rates to
Volcker.
19%. Right. So, well, Volcker took it to 19, but his predecessor was the one that did the fake out. I can't remember his name.
Exactly. Yeah. Greenspan.
So,
yeah.
no.
Greenspan after.
was far later. Yeah. So
Who was the guy before?
the issue is, his name started with an A. Who cares? So the trick here is the Fed has told you as clearly as they possibly can, they're going to keep raising rates to hit their 2% inflation target, period. They've got a dual mandate. Their mandate is 2% inflation.
But he only gave us 75 for next year.
Everyone's already got.
He's only going to give us 75 for next year. But that still is going to hang around a high interest rate, even if you go lethargic on no interest rate changes. That's still
So you're telling me that like
economy.
2 days ago he went up 0.5%, but over the next 365 days he's only going to go up 0.75%? I don't believe that.
That's what he's saying.
Well, that doesn't
75.
fit his goal of hitting a 2% inflation rate. It doesn't. That
Exactly.
contradicts the other things that he's saying, which is get ready. He's literally like, get ready for a lot more pain. The markets are going to come down more. So what he's going to do is he's just going to trade your job for lower inflation.
Yeah.
He's going to put people out of business. He's going to put people out of work. People are going to lose their jobs.
I think that starts coming in Q1 and Q2.
That's going to
sure,
lower the
these
inflation.
jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to lower the inflation. Now here's the question for you. How are you going to make a crypto bottom when everyone's out of work?
Oh, what are you talking about?
So I don't.
You've got to sell.
Every other time crypto has bottomed, it's been in a quantitative easing environment. Crypto's never bottomed in a quantitative tightening environment before.
Yeah.
So now look, the crypto will bottom first, in my opinion. But until he pivots, stops raising the rates, and then we get the actual market crash. So usually people think the pivot saves you. Usually, historically, the pivot is then followed by the real crash.
Yeah, it kills you.
And then you get your bottom 6 months, 8 months later, and then you go up. So now look, this is uncharted territory, right? So look, if there wasn't so many coins ready to get sold, I would feel better about calling a crypto bottom. But we haven't hit my price targets. We have barely run, we just basically finished up a year of bear from the double top.
All right.
And the macro environment is that they're going to keep raising rates, which is going to keep hurting the prices of everything. And until the pivot and the crash and hitting the price targets, I'm just not comfortable calling a bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
And price matters a lot more than timing. So
you feel like it's more somewhere around 11,000. 2023 would be your prediction for where Bitcoin is.
I mean,
it's going to hit the 11,000 mark.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's your number. Okay.
I mean, technically, an 85% drop from 69K is 10,350.
Yeah. What about
the real math? But in case people front run my calls, I want to give them a little extra leeway and just give it 11K.
Yeah.
11K and pray.
What's ETH for 20?
I mean, ETH already did an 85% drop.
Yeah.
So that's not an exciting call anymore, is it? So if it went back down to 880, that's an 85% drop.
Yeah.
So what's a more exciting call? 600, 400. I mean, technically, its last cycle, it did a 95% drop. It really could do it again. And a 95% drop off of 5K is 250.
Yeah.
So you could see if it does this cycle, what it did last cycle, you could see $250 Ethereum, which is only a 66% drop. I think Solana's trash.
Make it through this run.
Yeah, it'll survive, but like the network's down all the time. And it's hard to spool up stuff on.
We talk about that.
And FTX is going to dump it into oblivion. So like, and FTX like stole all their stable coins off their network or something. Like everyone that was bridging into that network was bridging using FTX bridge or something. And like,
yeah. Where do you think GBTC is going to go?
Dude.
Where do you feel like this is going to go in the next here? This was your tweet, What do you think about this? I mean, obviously you're talking about it right there, but my point is for 2023.
Buy pressure from Bitcoin.
Yeah. How far down do we see this in terms of a discount?
I don't know, man. It's
Come
really
on,
hard
Richard.
to say. Well, I told everyone, look, if you think a 10% discount's a good deal, you're going to feel really bad when the discount gets lower and Bitcoin also drops at the same time.
Yeah.
And like an oscillating indicator, it can ride that and make lower, like it can just ride the bottom and keep going.
Right.
So it's a lot of people probably thought they were buying a good dip.
Right.
And now Bitcoin dropped in half and the premium dropped in half. So now you're down half twice. Now you're down 75%. So it's,
what do
if
you
you
think
can't
is
arbitrage it by redeeming, which you can't, then you either have to do a hostile takeover and get control of being able to sell the coins on market to arb the difference. And I would need to look at the internal corporate structure and see if they can poison pill it or what the angles are to prevent the corporate takeover. Because, I mean, think about it. They hold 3% of the Bitcoin supply.
Largest.
How much, you just do the math. Yeah, they're the largest holder. So, I mean, next to Satoshi, I guess. Satoshi's got 5%.
Yeah.
If you do the math and you're like, well, how much will the market dump when we try and murder it with this 3%, which is probably like 20% of all the available tradable coins.
Right.
It's the problem with making a prediction in that environment is I don't know the corporate governance. It's very in-depth paperwork, and I don't know what counterplay they have.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just more sell pressure. Okay, it either absorbs all the buy pressure that Legacy was going to give, because why not buy at a discount when it's usually 20% premium? Cool. Or, I mean, the answer to that is maybe ETF comes. Hold your breath.
That would be definitely.
Or you have to liquidate it. And either way, it's sell pressure. It's either sell pressure by absorbing all the buys and not moving up the spot price at all, or it's sell pressure by actually doing ARB and taking the coins and dumping them on the market. Either way, it's all bad.
Yeah, that would be bad.
There's no possible upside at all. There's no possible upside from an absolute metric buttload of new supply entering the market. Now, apparently there's some clause that if they wrap up the trust that they can only sell 10% of the holdings every quarter.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, depending on how they do the math, you could liquidate it in like 2.5 years, or it could just be an asymptote and take forever. And once again, corporate, I'm not reading their docs. I've got too many other cool things going on.
Yeah, no, I understand. Last question to you is about NFTs and whether or not you think NFTs are something that are going to continue in terms of utility. If you look at what Trump did, he dropped a big one yesterday. He's put in some, bonus elements in there. You want to go play some golf with Mr. Trump?
Oh, God.
You can do that now.
I don't buy scams, bro. That's not my thing. So if you want to overpay for a JPEG, if you want to overpay for a serial number loosely related to a JPEG, which may or may not still be hosted on the internet, you're an idiot. You're stupid.
All right, well,
you deserve to lose all your money.
2023
Trump's
prediction.
NFTs.
Yeah.
They can go in the server and change your NFT to a dick pic anytime they want. Because your NFT is a link to a website.
He may very well do that.
They could have been smart and put it on an IPFS and made it kind of immutable, but they're not smart. So
yeah. Richard,
one day I own the world's largest diamond. One day I'll turn it into an NFT, and then I'll do it better, and I'll show you what it looks like.
There you go. That would be cool. It'd be different. That's a different game.
I still will tell you not to buy it, but I bet you will anyway.
Somebody's going to buy it. Richard, it's been good having you on. We're going to get you back on talking more, especially.
Did you have Did you have questions from the audience, or should I show the things? Let me show my stuff real quick.
Okay, hey, well, hang on. We've got a poll real quick, so we can maybe shill for you. I don't know. Let's take a look. All right, is Richard Hart the right is right about everything?
That's
yes, 51. You
Half of these
led.
Guys have got it right.
There you go. See, our team is not too bad here on their.
Nice.
On there. All right, tell us what you want to tell us.
So go to PulseChain.com. Try out the testnet. Enjoy your free coins. It's better than getting wrecked. It's better than trying to be a hero in a bear market and buy the wrong thing and it goes to zero, or fall for a fake airdrop and lose all your coins to a hacker, or fall for fake support, lose your coins. Like, chill out during the bear market. Chill.
Yeah, that's what I do.
PulseChain.com, world's largest free airdrop. Smart. Hex.com, 95% dip, still up 500x. Perfect flawless operation for 3 years. Richard Hart Official, if you want to see me twerk, see my sick outfits. I'm usually wearing like 50K outfits. And free books, Sci-Vive, and free YouTube videos on Richard Hart. Lately I haven't uploaded. And what else? Free books,
you
free
gotta-
videos, free coins.
Why not
free
upload
price calls.
videos more often? What's the holdback there? Just too busy?
Well, I'm on a laptop, right? So in order for me
okay.
to upload the stream, I have to have two cameras running, one to give you a feed so you can record it, and one to give me a feed to record it. And I have two capture cards. It's just a hassle to sub second camera, so I'd have to fight like Ob's virtual camera, and it's just
okay.
It's been too much of a hassle. No.
All right. Well, we could help you with that if you ever need some of that.
If you guys don't follow me, you're going to miss when I call the bottom, and you're going to be very sad. Richard Hart official.
Well, you just called the bottom.
No, Richard Hart. Richard Hart win on Twitter. Richard Hart official on Telegram.
Yeah. All right, my man. Thank you for coming down on the show today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys.
Wish you mad gains.
Thank you. Mad gains for last words from Richard. I love that. Listen, guys, if you are over on the podcast side of things right now, you missed a lot. And that is over here on the video side, which is over here on YouTube. Make sure and jump in, like and subscribe to a couple of videos that'll get us in your feed. That'll fix everything. You know, it's those algorithms. It's how they work. And then, of course, if you're not in the Diamond Circle, get in now. That's our free member group. We don't charge you anything. You jump in, you become part of us. And we get a chance to share. We're doing some nice reward giveaways, all kinds of cool stuff as well for the holidays. We'll probably do an announcement of the holiday giveaways that we're doing as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys want to catch me, it's out there on Twitter, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechBath.